to the draft for game number 2.
Yeah, Haji really tries his very best, but again, the Minotaur doesn't seem to be hitting the right targets today at the very least, right? I feel like he's barely. I feel the reach of the ultimate just has to expand a little bit, and then you'd be where you want to be if you're picking Minotaur. But right now, just not quite there yet.
Yeah, it was just but about maybe a month ago wherein he was scoring 5-man implosions, right?
Yeah.
The Minotaur just doesn't allow for that. Again, I agree. Rockhart, maybe you do need to extend it maybe a bit, but he's already a very meta hero. I don't think Moonton's going to buff the Minotaur.
Yeah. Probably not.
But just the same, I think Blacklist banning the Minotaur means they're going to go for something else. And that's already a great change. If you want different results, you go with the different approach.
Go with the big boy, the big boy.
The Tigreal.
Make it happen.
Tig would be available for Blacklist International if they go ahead and pick it.
How about that show, though?
Love that.
What if they go a totally different direction?
That'd be nasty.
Is that too much to ask?
Throw it back.
We've seen a couple of shows in the past maybe split.
Yeah, and it still works out, honestly. If you want an aggressive jungler who can constantly get info and just constantly be a nuisance to try and break the tempo of your opposing team, a Cho would be a great pick.
Also very reminiscent of how Sensui played it when he was back in Onyx in Season 10. He played Cho Jungle. It's not that far off, man. He was one of the first people to do it.
Those were different times. And again,
different times, obviously.
A throwback to Season 8.
Still it's possible.
When Haji debuted with Blacklist as a roamer, he was playing Cho. Oh, but that does allow Nolan to come through.
Yeah. When he did came out, Sensui was one of the most terrifying Nolan players in the league last season. So APBR, as expected, when you have someone who goes in for dive, you want to control it. You pick up a Ruby and a Vexana. 2 heroes in this current metagame that up against dive just gives them a much more difficult time to play.
Ruby just feels so strong right now. I don't know, throw it anywhere, and he's going to do so good.
Yep, it's relatively hard to read, but most Rubies these days end up in the roam. So with that said, there it is. We were looking for the Tig.
And the Nana!
And we are going to be eating good. And Blacklist secures a Nana. Yeah, this is a Nana debut in Season 13.
Yeah, obviously, I know everyone who plays, you all love your Nanas.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a treat to see it back here in MPL Philippines, and with the Tigreal, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun game to watch.
With Claude open for the board here, actually, it makes APBR think twice of picking that hero, because if I'm a Claude, I would be quite hesitant to go up against a Tigreal and Nana.
Oh,
so
for sure.
I felt like that was a good block pick by Blacklist International. It's not impossible to make a Claude work here, but it will be difficult.
Even a Curry. If they pick up the Curry here, it'll be less than ideal. So maybe the Harith becomes a hot pickup.
I see it getting banned, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. exactly.
There
So
it is.
we're going to have to play the Mexican standoff. Like, who pulls the trigger first? Barat's here going to be closing up the first half of APBR's draft. So there's their jungler for sure. I like the Barats into the Nolan matchup. I think that's safe. I think you're both coming in from different angles, and neither is prey or predator to the other.
And the way Super Marco played earlier, it won't be out of possibility to have Carry banned out. And the Harith. Carry and Harith maybe as well.
Oh, man. This is the first time in Season 13 that we're seeing, game in Series 1 that actually happened too. Gold laners be left out like this.
It's true.
What?
Well, last time Nana was picked was MPL Season 10 by Super Friends. I remember that. But has it really been that long since someone played Nana?
Has there been no Nanas in Season 11 or 12?
Almost 2 years.
Whoa, that's cool.
Wow.
That fact flew over my head.
Well.
Well, thanks to our league historians for digging that
There's
out.
a carry ban.
Predicted on the carry ban.
For the longest time, I feel like people have been mocking Nana picks, so maybe that's where it came from. But yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Now she's real.
Can't do that.
Fulvius banned though, so there's gonna be more heroes with dashes. Oh, they'll still go Claude.
Go for the Claude, man.
Okay, so they're not gonna. They're gonna play into it.
Yep, it's straight up mechanics. Marco just do the thing. Purify for sure is one of the keys to this.
For sure.
We'll need to. Needs to be a little bit more frontline for APBR.
Well,
Depending on what the gold laner might be here.
Yeah.
Yu Zhong, Lapu Lapu for APB might look good actually.
Picks like this kind of put pressure on a Nolan pick to be very, very important, very
Yeah.
aggressive early on. Because if you
That's
don't
right.
do it, you might be in trouble.
And they already have half of a formula. They have the Nana. For Nolan to work, you need a solid amount of burst. You need a solid amount of damage that's reliable. They only have the magic version. They still need the physical. And they have a dead lane. And I'm liking this. I like the Brody. That's an additional level of CC that the Claude has to watch out for.
I feel like a Yu Zhong will be really good right now for AP Brand, but again, also like Lapu, just to make sure you have someone that can reach the Brody. Really crazy version of that would be a Benedetta for Flab, but we don't see that often.
I mean, throw it out there. It's still a big possibility. Arlot's kind of open, though. I don't know.
Arlott
if
and the Rizzler are
want to
open
go
too.
for that.
Yeah, the Rizzler.
XP lane is oddly open right now. And to think that Blacklist actually went for the Thamus. It could have been, if they were looking for a dead lane, it could have been
There's a Yu Zhong.
Thamus or Uranus. But yeah, no. You go for the straight cut to the back. You're
Yeah.
finding the Brody.
It's Fams is Yu Zhong's always a good balance between damage and just being tanky enough. Has enough assassination possibilities as well to kind of tilt the lane in your favor. But it's gonna be a slugfest, spell vamp fest there on the XP lane for sure
Yeah.
later on.
Yep. Again, only second to Aldous. The only way you can, for sure, access a backline.
Yeah.
No other hero does the same.
100%.
Between the Toms and the Yu Zhong, though, in team fights, I feel like it might be a little bit more difficult for Toms here because there might be scenarios where Toms goes in, but the other members are just stopped by the Yu Zhong because he's Black Dragon forming and they have to go back.
Yep. It's an absolute way to penetrate a line. The Tams have to do it the old-fashioned way. But the Tams can actually buy time. The Tams actually wins the lane if they stick to it.
Either they use the Tams to buy time a lot, or they play so tight that, you know what, they're going to be able to maximize the Nana damage and the Nolan damage.
Let's see who will win this game. It was Blacklist International falling to AP Bren in game number 1, what we thought would be closer. Suddenly AP Bren hit a power spike. Will it be the same story, or will the Codebreakers force game number 3? Again, this is the first day of MPL Philippines Season 13. And yes, we are at that point in that metagame where Tigreal and Nana as the roam in mid is definitely not an epic rank troll pick. Not discriminating though, they've always been really strong.
No.
Oh, here we go.
Biggest.
Early game fights. I think this is one of the strengths that a Blacklist lineup has, especially since we are playing with a assassin jungler in Nolan. And look at this, they're already crossing the line here.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they need to, which is what we mentioned before. Just play it very tight, though. But the moment that you have a Yu Zhong in the middle, that might be problems here.
Oh, no.
And there you go. The Shaw Essence taking damage makes the first blood easy for Kyle TZ.
So it seems like the rotational choice for Blacklist for game 1 and 2 was that, Edward, get out of lane quick because we need you to disrupt Kyle TZ's early game rotations.
All right, let's check out the emblems. Oh, wait, unless AP Brent allow us to do that? Oh, they're fighting. Kyle's in trouble.
Very early
What?
on.
Oh,
Is here
No
to save
way!
the day once more. No way,
way.
bro.
Oh.
No way. It's going to be 1-for-1, but still looks good. Actually, it's 2-for-1.
Okay, so
Still
big
trade,
there.
though.
Still trades.
Still trade. Got that. AP Brendo with a slight lead here because of their aggressive responses to the aggressive engagements of Blacklist International. The junglers are going to be off their timers though, Leo.
I like how, again, if it's just the lane we're talking about, Edward should have the advantage, but AP Brent aren't playing in the lanes. AP Brent are forcing fights elsewhere, anywhere but.
And for some reason, it always feels like it catches Blacklist by surprise.
Yeah.
It feels like, wait, why is there another guy here?
Uh-oh.
Right? The way they're playing it.
Bottom. They're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you saw
Bit of a
there.
fadeaway damage.
Yeah, the health whittling down. Yep, there's going to be AP Bren Turtle without a problem. So then, let's go on forward. What's next for Blacklist International? Because AP Bren have gotten a good little comfortable lead for them early on here.
All right, I think the play is, number 1, get farm onto Sensui. Number 2, threaten Super Marco. And that's why I think Ogwin has already gone to the measures of protecting Super Marco. Because look at this, there's a 4-man coalition down bottom. This is the next best thing that Blacklist can do. Threaten Super Marco and force AP Brent to respond, and then get Haji to do a solid implosion. All of the previous engagements did not really have an implosion on them. So now maybe Blacklist says it's go time.
And if they do choose a go time, It'll be easy for them to go fight.
And let's see if go time and the fight will be found there again. Don't forget about our aspirant skins. First 10x draw 50% off. The new ones, Changa and Leslie, available now. As we look at the movements of the map, again, jungle control, slow and steady. The two teams who have made a name for themselves of being really smart, playing around timers and objectives. Systematic MLBB. That's what we're seeing here right now. As AP BREN go for a rotation bot side, but no one's going to commit.
Usually,
Very- Very slow paced.
Very slow
Very
pace.
slow
that's
paced.
true.
You were saying usually.
Usually it's very easy for teams to counter a Barretts. For some reason, this Barretts is just a little too hard to control here early to mid.
Yeah,
Something
I think
happened here.
It's that nombo between him and the
Oh,
Nola
something-
that's changing it. Oh, dear Lord, there it is.
Dear Lord. There you go. Perfectly layered as well. Nowhere for Edward to go.
Kyle TZ's use of Detna's welcome is very point blank. Like, he doesn't allow for it to charge, doesn't really leave Blacklist any time to respond and reposition. He always ends up getting the right target.
All right, so with that kill hit there on to Edward, it's going to be positional advantage for AP BREN of this lore. You not going to get knocked back. That was a little bit of a hairy situation him for there. Purple buff of Kyle TZ just about to spawn, but AP BREN still confidently playing around the mid and around the next spawning turtle.
Yeah, I feel like agents all around the world waiting for Sensui to get going here on this Nolan, who seem to be just having a bit of a hard time finding the targets as well.
Yeah, it's tough to be a Nolan at this point in the game, especially you're down 2K and you have Yu Zhong hunting for you constantly. Wait, what?
Oh!
The mid!
Whoa, Yua blew up few there out of nowhere. I
Yeah.
wish I could have seen how that happened, but Kyle TZ is still securing that turtle.
Looks like it was an implosion by Haji set things up.
There you go. Yeah, and it was a one-man pickoff. Still allowed for AP BREN to score the turtle against second of the game. But as I was saying, I think it's wrong for us to think that the only way Blacklist can clap back is through Nolan, through
for sure.
Sensui. Because again, there's only two things that this hero does, is pick off and kill via cleanups. And if big team fights don't happen, then Sensui's going to have to wait. He's very patient. This is what he showed us in the playoffs of Season 12. But right now, looking at the gold gain, they're down maybe 2,000 gold, and it's in the very right places. It's on Super Marco ahead for AP BREN, and of course, in the XP lane. Because again, is it just me or is Flaptease so comfortable with this Yu Zhong? He won M2 with the Yu Zhong.
Yeah.
That's right.
He got away without a problem. Even letting out a little laugh with that sticker. AP BREN now making one of their signature plays. A sandwich push
Good
behind the first tower at bottom to break it down.
And as usual, if you don't hear us mentioning a gold laner's name, he's probably doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Being stealthy, making sure he's out of the hairy situations, and getting the gold to make sure he can carry the mid to late.
And the fact that it's Super Marco is actually pushing means it's not exactly peaches for Oheb. Now Oheb has to find elsewhere to farm.
And the more I think about it, I think wait, AP BREN
What?
going for an invid.
Is that conceal? Conceal activated? Yeah. Just a bit of a deny here. Slow it down. Make sure they can't get the orange buff easily. Haji with a little bit of assist here. Just within leash range. Almost got it. Still going to Kyle TZ.
10 seconds plus no retry compared to the, or 20 even, compared to the spawn. But I understand now the cautiousness of Blacklist International. Anyone who plays in their ranked games understands one of the worst feelings in the world is a snowball Barretts. So I think that's what just Blacklist is avoiding here. They're not giving Kyle TZ that big of an ability to snowball like crazy, and AP BREN will just stomp all over them.
Yep, this is the last turtle spawning already. In just a bit, we might get some feedback on what exactly this snowballed Barats is building up already.
Oh, that's
2,
fast.
1, and 2. He was soloing too.
He was.
Oh,
Few
Lord.
hits there. AP BREN still very comfortable. Sensui!
Sensui could be in trouble, but then again, just not quite there yet. Super Marco, he gets a moment where he knows he can get the kill. That's the only time he goes. Usually he just plays very safe, very passively, but in a good way. I don't know how to say that.
Here we go, confirmed. The ancient, Antique Harass rather, onto Kyle TZ. And already you're answering 4 out of 5 heroes from Blacklist.
Yep.
It's only Yue that you're really worried about, and Yue has to think about Kyle TZ eating him up too.
What's Kyle TZ
Not
building?
quite safe yet.
That's interesting.
I'd like to think half of that inventory isn't reflecting what it should be. So we'll check in just a bit. Yeah.
Check later.
Checking a bit. Unless he's thinking of building something at the top of my head, but you know what? We can revisit
Yeah,
it.
That's right.
for sure.
We're okay.
So
All
right
right.
now, yeah. At least for Blacklist right now, not really getting,
Ah.
picked off, but with exactly what you're going to go try for. Kaltizi has the hands
Bang!
on Haji. So hard to get out of harm's way here. I don't think anyone could have made it out of that situation.
Yep, Kyle TZ building up to a magic defense item. Can confirm, so he's on his way to maybe a Radiant Armor or the newly improved Oracle, could be.
Yep.
But just the same, he's so tanky. He can face off against the Tams and help push in mid. That's all tier 1s down. Blacklist International. Again, one of their few hopes. I'm really thinking that this could be an approach is Sensui playing a Lord Dance that is very different from what APBR is expecting. That's what we saw in Season 12, but then again, that's about 6 months ago.
That's true. And also quite a tall order to make APBR, surprise APBR at this point.
Yeah.
Even if he does, and again, there is a small amount of advantage in terms of items where you can't immediately go down. It has to be a slow burn when someone goes down to Sensui.
4,000 gold and counting is the difference. Blacklist International, if they find a big setup, big combo, that could be the way they get back into this, but Blacklist International might not be able to get into the Lord in time to contest it. I don't think they will.
Yeah, the smoother damage output here coming in
Wow.
for Super Marker. You can feel it. You can see it from that Claude.
Just for good measure, you see how Flap TC comes in from the bottom? It's like, all right, no matter where, no matter which angle, I got you covered. This is a clean Lord take. And I like how APBR are actually taking it very seriously. They did not need to retry. Kyle TC still did.
That's true. That's true. Flaptizi super calculated as well. You notice him flying into these bushes one by one at the right perfect moments. So the calls are pretty good coming in for BREN.
Oh.
You can tell
No.
just because of that.
You still got it.
I mean, it went from worse to bad.
Yeah.
Went to the wrong hero, but at least they're same team.
At least APBR isn't going to get another resource, but they're just getting everything else in the map. No orange buff needed. We'll just get your tower, your purple buff.
Towers, man.
APBR is just on a different level right now, folks. I don't know how else to put it.
Towers getting shredded over and over.
That's it. No more tier 2s. Something to note about Blacklist lineup, again, at this point more specifically than any other, you need good wave clear, and they only really have the Nana. All the other heroes on Blacklist lineup are only good in fights. This is so hard to be Blacklist right now.
If you go on a fight, it is actually, it's hard to go off against a 5-man of APBR who seems to be just monstrous tanks right now.
Exactly. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And there it is confirmed. The new Oracle, it seems to be a bestseller. It's selling like hotcakes.
Yeah. Lightning Truncheon?
I believe that one
changing up.
is one of those
I understand.
one of those things. Unless that's a Athena's shield. I also see an Athena's shield up on our in-arena monitors.
All right. I'll accept the, okay. Yeah, I'll accept that maybe an Oracle, Athena Shield.
Talk about this because we're talking defense items, yeah?
Yeah.
Defense items.
He's still one of the most damaged dealt, the most damaged dealt this game.
Gearing up on 20,000 of Barrett's.
Wow. Barrett's
Ridiculous.
Barrett's has been on the up and up here. All season long, or all off season long, people have been starting to really pick it up. And, the revamp is huge.
All right, quick bit of trivia here. Barat is actually the dude riding the dinosaur.
Yeah.
For all of those who need the reminder.
Right.
APBR is actually playing for Lord here, so it's going to be a rather slow pace next 30 seconds. Unless they actually spot someone out. But I think it's in Blacklist's best interest to actually stay behind safety, stay behind their gates.
Yeah, they're not totally out of it just yet.
And you see here, just one team trying to somehow find an opening to turn things around. Blacklist International. APBR just looking to end it with the next Lord push. The lead that they have built for themselves. Items, Leo.
I'm liking that Few actually built the Ice Queen wand. Already, if you think that second skill is annoying, and the proc of the first, if you stack it with the rest of her skills, dude, there's no way that maybe even Haji can get in if not for a flicker. If Sensui, if he gets hit with a one skill from Few, can even find a way to finish them off. I'm liking it. Even Edward, I guess that's why Edward, Aegis 0 on the Tams, despite having a solid matchup against the Yuzhong if they went one-on-one, finds it so hard to peel as a Tams.
Really is.
It's because already even just Few alone could stop him in his tracks.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention the layers you have to go through. Oakland right now on the Ruby, who is pulling up on Edward. Haji, Yue, and Hope close by. It's going to be hard for them to get in, even just Agent Zero. Sensui gets it! Sensui gets it. Pays for it with his life, but if you are Blacklist International, that is a huge cause of celebration.
Hashtag worth it. Hashtag worth it. Empowered waves. A lord to help buffer that push on top. That is a blessing in disguise for Blacklist International. Yes, Sensui died, but it was worth it. The Cardinal one comes in clutch.
You saw it coming. The Cardinal.
The Cardinal.
On the side. He hid in the shrub, let the minion wave pass, used the Cyclone Eye to be able to get close within retro range with his dash. That allows Blacklist to fight another day, but APBR look for revenge.
Haji very close there.
Interrupted.
And Sensui will be back on the field, ready to go for a take here. Oakland's quite low. Super Marco also could be a pretty prime target.
Abu
but
Jinjing.
it will be Abu Jinjing, who is going to be absorbing the damage.
Oh,
There goes
Marco!
the Blazing Duet. And Edward could also go down, able to just dodge on with a hair.
Okay, so Blacklist, their lineup, relatively bad wave clear. Hard vision, that's something, again, that we have to add to the list of things that they need to work on. But, they have amazing punish.
Yes.
In their
They do.
own base, you have several sources of CC. If I'm not mistaken, same for Sensui, everyone has CC.
Yep.
So if you go a little bit too deep, just like what happened just now, APBR definitely could have suffered way worse. I think we're already still reeling from the fact that Sensui stole the Lord. But I think, again, much like one of the games from earlier tonight, Minana, EVOS, and TNC, inside the base where Blacklist might actually find solace.
Yep. Sensui has like around, on average, I would say 5 per season since he's joined the league of just insane,
Out of nowhere.
out of nowhere Lord
He's
steals.
stolen my heart.
And he's stolen
Add
a lot
one to
of
that
art.
one,
He's
yeah.
an amazing core.
That's amazing also what you can do when you just can throw anyone there.
Yeah.
Right? You can just do it without anyone close by with your team when everyone's watching.
I'm pretty sure he communicated with the team, and I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that looked like a set play by Blacklist.
And then, and then comedic cut. Arnold Schwarzenegger running.
Yeah.
Sensui, no! And then he does it anyways.
He does it.
Oh.
That's what matters.
I just want to say,
And-
I think it's also Blacklist's respect of the tendencies of APBR. We know how APBR at one point almost always will stop damaging an objective just to focus on heroes.
That's true.
That was the window.
So there was muscle memory involved.
Yeah.
As soon as they saw a glimpse of Sensui's shadow, a little bit of his DNA, they were like,
Yeah.
hey, wait, what? And then, pow!
Yeah, I know. We're talking about this play over and over again, but look at where it got Blacklist, right?
Exactly.
They're catching up.
They're leaving their base.
Yeah, Super Marco has been capped on items for the past 3 minutes.
Yeah, they
And-
have more room to work with.
And nothing much has happened, right?
That's huge. That was a turning point for sure.
If they get another one here, I don't know. I'll just really hope I don't accidentally blurt an expletive. Rock hard. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. They're gonna do,
Do the
it.
thing.
Edward's starting to get in position. Flap TZ on the bush check once more, but Blacklist is
No way.
on conceal. Who is close by for the red?
Oh!
No way! Second
Oh
time.
my goodness!
And the fight is just going non-stop. Ohem might be looking better here in terms of the damage department. He is doing some work onto Flap TZ.
1-for-1 trade, plus a steal from Sensui. Oh man, if the haters are doubting you, do it twice and take pictures. Sensui steals the Lord again, and this time with interest because they were able to trade off with few. Blacklist, ladies and gentlemen, are in this game.
This is unreal.
I know how you feel now with when you found
Unreal.
with Benny Cutileo. Damn you, Sensui! I almost swore and lost my job. What a play! You do. He gets 5 per season on average. He got 2 in one game.
And they have 13
Bro.
more games.
They have 13 more games.
13 series left.
Series, yeah.
Oh.
He's batting 2 for 2
Wow.
already right now with the Lord steals, and it is unbelievable.
Dare I say, folks, that was pretty legit.
Look at this, the map is blue.
It is. Blacklist are starting to make this lineup work here.
Oh,
Edward
ow, ow,
obviously
ow, ow,
still
ow, ow.
absorbing a lot of damage here from Super Marco. That's something you can't
Whoa!
ignore.
Oh,
But
the
Yue will be in trouble. I think he still has a passive as well. So, man, oh man.
At the drop of a hat, the turns have tabled. Look at that. Blacks International doing more than just leaving their base, doing more than just crossing the river. They've actually almost equalized the map. Only but the mid lane tier 2 standing for AP BREN and their inhibitors. Look at that. The steal coming in. And we could have sworn he was going to die to Flap, right?
I swear he could have. I think Kaltizi bumped into a wall there or something. He walked a bit too slow for the retry. And Sensui just was all over it.
Again, I think key to this actually working is the anti-disaster protocol. Get enough farm on your jungler for them to be able to deal the right amount of damage, get him to the right EXP so that his retribution is at the same level as the opponents as they try to steal, so the threshold is the same. And then number 3 is have beyond human reflexes. I don't know how easy to get that third part is, but I've never done it before. I have secondhand happiness for Sensui. This is amazing.
I guess those one of the things where if you have it, you have it.
Yeah.
You just know it, right? So I get what you mean, though.
Oh, one of the key questions we ask for this season, what does victory mean for players, for the teams? I feel like if you ask Sensui at this point, victory for me is just stealing Lords. Not once, not twice. I did it for the Blacklist.
All of the lords.
All the
All the
lords.
Lords.
Oh, man.
Sensui's victory is pressing retry before everyone else,
Yep.
basically.
Still can't move on twice in one game. That's gonna be content for a lot of people.
Yeah, but again, will it
Oh,
be enough to
no,
actually turn back
If he
the
does,
game?
if he does this a third time, I'm dropping my headset and I'm walking out. Not because I didn't like what I saw, but because no way. I feel like I'm in a different universe if that happened.
He's
That's
hanging
true.
out of the same bush.
Same point.
That's where you put
Oh,
yourself.
they found Haji.
Oh, they're shifting up priorities here. Haji with implosion, forced to flicker out
he
as
got
well.
away.
But that's a few skills being used already for AP BREN. That's Ogwon with the I'm Offended, as well as the Blazing Duet from Super Marco, so that might be something.
All right, Haji did spend his implosion too,
Yep.
so it's a 2-for-1. I'm sure all of these players are counting resources as well.
Time it.
Something to note, a minute off of Purify. That I think is going to be key. Super Marco is not as safe as he
Yep.
once was.
He really has the time his entry. It's now AP BREN are going for the cross-map play. AP BREN also tracking around the Lord. Still no full info for both teams of who the other is. They're looking for the Nolan. They're looking for the Tig.
There
Down
it
to
is.
50%.
Info given already. We've seen the Brody down on the bottom side and said, AP BREN, you know what, guys, we can probably do this. No immortality for Super Marco, though. Still no Purify. Edward, making sure he is the one that will keep AP BREN busy, but where is everyone else?
Yep. Waiting for the cooldown return on the ultimate of their Ruby. Still, the minion wave down bottom is a problem, but Blacklist aren't going to be dealing with it because they know where Super Marco is.
That's the long lane. I think it's in Blacklist's best interest to send someone over there. Unless they're just going for the steal once more. And something to note, since he's hanging out in the same bush, but now Yue gonna pop the passive!
There it is. Passive already popped up. Might be risky for Blacklist, but they really have no other choice, don't they?
All that for a passive, since Sui's still in the same Curub. Minion waves down mid and bot have to be managed by Blacklist. Edward will have to go back. AP BREN have a slight reprieve and a slight lead for this, but they still don't know where the Zen Master is.
Flapteasy sees him.
Yeah, for the past 5 seconds, since he was actually standing right outside the bush.
Yeah.
But
what
again,
was that about?
Something
didn't even
tells me
notice
it might be on purpose. He
Oh!
might be showing himself so that he can reposition.
Okay, all
It didn't
right.
really cost him. It didn't really cost him.
It also forces AP BREN to maybe think of a reset here.
Yeah. They
See-
know it's covered.
Flap's doing the same thing. Flap's doing the same thing.
Doing the same
Oh,
thing.
he's
Yeah,
showing up. He's
himself.
showing up.
All right, it's
I
the
like
tell
it.
of these two teams. Ogwin.
But the focus is here. Near Ogwin.
Oh, he missed
Oh,
it.
he's caught. He's caught up in a very, very bad
they
space
counter?
here. Edward Doe and Haji, very low HP, but still able to walk out.
Oh, heavy
Here
trouble.
comes all the skills. They're crashing
Where did they
down. Haji in the back, and Edward on the other
Oh.
side. Edward, Agent Zero, the first to fall there.
Oh, I see the intent. They were going to try to send Sensui for cleanup, but instead it went a little too deep, a little too long, and Sensui could not find the position to get 2 kills off the back of that amazing engage by Edward and Haji.
In different position here, Flap and Sensui are swapped up.
Someone needs to check it.
Someone
Do
needs
they
to
know?
check
Oh, there you go. He showed himself.
Do
He showed
they
They
himself.
have to know.
He showed himself. He showed
3
himself.
times in one game, are you sure? Marco finds Sensui.
And they're going straight for it. Retribution can be enraged.
Terrified.
Sensui is terrified. He's enraged.
Yes.
And he's going to be popped
Oh.
out. Immortality was there. And the Lord goes over to AP BREN.
No third time's the charm for Sensui. Has AP BREN calculated as ever. Gets the next Major Lord. 4th one in this game without Flap though. Can the reigning world champions end this series here?
Something tells me they're going to at least walk away with a clean base. AP Brenn are going to sink these waves as they've done right now. There's still another big wave waiting down bottom. And this Lord is actually evolved. So even if Flaptease is missing, AP Brenn's hits actually sting a little bit more.
And speaking of stinging more, I feel like Oheb should start to sting more with all the attention being thrown over to Sensui here for the past how many minutes?
Well orchestrated. Blacks International actually let the waves crash in so that they would have to deal with the heroes and the Lord and the waves at the same time.
We painted the picture of these two legendary teams, the names behind them, and they're delivering us a nigh, almost legendary game. I don't want to say it's going to be up there in the greatest games of all time, but damn, it's day number 1 of MPL Philippines Season 13, and this is just damn good MLBB that we're watching right now. The way the Blacklist is slowly clawing back into this, because one man said, I will not let us lose here, not like this. But AP BREN showing why they are who they are yet again. But at this point, I believe the coin is still tossed up in the air, Leo. What are the conditions now for these two teams to get their desired results?
All right. At about the 8 or 9 minute mark, we've been talking about how maybe Sensui isn't the only way that Blacklist can win, so that AP BREN can actually, have to think twice about the engagement. Because let's admit it, up until that Lord Steal, AP BREN was calling the shots, right?
All throughout the map.
So now maybe something tells me Blacklist has to switch it up again. Maybe they've gotten so used to the fact that maybe we can just keep stealing the Lord. No, what if they actually find a way to punish inside their base? Let AP BREN in.
And they have shown that they can do that even when they were on a deficit. What more now?
Yeah.
That the gold is a little bit evened up.
The gold is negligible. Everybody's full build.
You can feel the tension in the air and the very cold air.
4-8 kill score, by the way.
4-8. So many things has happened and it's only 4-8.
Talk about kill scores. Sensui has killed more lords than heroes.
That's true. That is very true.
That's true.
20
true.
seconds. Haji!
Oh, he's going for it. There goes the big implosion we're talking about. Flicker already committed as well. Ogun already has the immortality used up. This could be big here for Blacklist, but the clapback is real for AP BREN as well. Edward still has Emo, but we'll have to back off as well. There are a lot of ultimates expended here for AP BREN. That was a pretty good move there for Blacklist.
And a round of applause by the crowd here. It's like you're watching one of those 30-minute Iron Man matches.
You know what that looked like? It's one of those moments where in the two martial arts masters who've never met just goes into a full-on sequence and then just acknowledge each other's skill.
All right.
it.
Just walk away.
Yes, this is who you are. We'll meet again in another battlefield, and the next battlefield is that Lord. A pressure onto the push down into the bot lane, and we find ourselves here again. A tale as old as, not time, but this entire series so far,
Yeah.
and this game number 2 specifically. Lord number 5 of this game.
We're pushing 30.
Funnily enough, I feel like push is the only way that this game is going to get resolved here. The way the things are going, the minion waves are going to be so much more crucial here. Super Marco up front, no immortality, that's very risky. Haji slows by, he's in position to maybe make an immortality happen, but his flicker is on cooldown. There goes
Force
Implosion, slows up Kalteezy, he's on half. Edward's on the back as well, trying to get some attention. Sensui, he's railing, he's riding on the bush, and Edward is going to have to make that,
Sensui!
but he takes out Pew! Sensui forces the flicker out as well, there you go. So many so many battle spells used up.
And another martial arts master moment. Both teams walk away with no casualties, nobody well enough to fight the Lord, and they both back off.
Folks,
Crowd is eating this up as well, by
we're
the way.
not seeing a lot of kills
Man.
here. But you have to appreciate the beauty of this game, the respect that these two have for each other's abilities, the timers, the immortalities, the key things you look for, the micro of it all in a team fight. This is why we are the home of champions, why the Filipinos have built a legacy of greatness all over the world in Mobile Legends Bang Bang is because of things like these. We're nearing 30 minutes into game number 2 of our only second series of Season 13. And Haji goes in!
Activated by Haji already. Who did he catch? I think he already caught Ogwin there. And Ogwin already used the flicker as well defensively. Blacklist has Ohem on the side. Flapteezy is going to have to walk off as well. And the Lord's going to be reset. But look at the bottom side of the map being worked on by Super Marco.
Long lane control by APBR on point. I think they understood that they're not going to get away with anything. Nobody gets free kills, not at this point, not approaching 30 minutes, so they'll just play the map, and it's much easier, much safer, more free for APBR to do that, so they made leeway on the map. If only Edward did not pay attention to that, that would have been a penetration down bottom.
And big props to Edward, by the way, playing this very close to his chest.
Yeah.
He's so good at controlling the long lane, man.
These two teams have just been tremendous with controlling everything, making the most out of every ability.
In the middle of a very chaotic environment as well.
Yeah, it's so chaotic, but you can see the gears turning in all the players' heads. Oh, he's going to go in, I'm going to have to cancel this. Don't worry, I can take the damage here because I have an immortality, or if I'm the Nana, I have the passive. Oh, this is just damn good MLBB.
This is art. This art in motion.
Art
right
in
now.
motion. That's a perfect way to say it.
All right, so with that, again, Edward can do it. Oheb, I don't think so. So right now, they have to think. Blacklist International has to commit to a plan. Control the long lane or go for the Lord fight. And APBR are checking which of these decisions Blacklist is most likely to do.
APBR knows this as well, right? They know they can push as much pressure on the bottom side, and Blacklist has no choice but to answer.
I love that Yue actually rebought, or I'm assuming that he rebought his glowing wand. It's because a lot of these fights actually leave heroes at maybe just 1% of their HP. That'll allow for them to not walk away. That'll actually allow them to finish the job.
That burn's going to be huge here in the late game.
Yep. Folks, here we are. The first 30-minute game of our very young season here. It's a cold, late, no, it's not that late. It's a cold night here in Manila, but all this action that I'm seeing is actually warming me up. And I'm sure you watching at home is enjoying it right now. Comment wherever you're watching. Who's going to take the cake here? Is it Blacklist International? Is it APBR?
To be fair, we've been watching a Lord Dance impending for the past 5 minutes. And I gotta say, in addition to all of the micro and the macro that they're playing here, I'm just happy that the Lord Dance has evolved to this level, right?
Yeah, we're way past that Lord Dance where everyone's just on the back of the hill and all
yeah.
that.
I missed this. Again,
Yeah.
the last time I remember Lord Dance were this hot, where I'd say the winter of 2021, it was a legendary call on the MPL desk. Napudot pa the dance floor. When that was a call, it was Blacklist in that match.
Oh, Haji!
He catches him. Ogwen is not really doing much right now,
Table
being
pop.
caught up with all the CC of Blacklist. And while all that's happening, Tensui as well, waiting in the wings.
The minions. Now the problem for Blacklist International. Every time they want to make a play, they have to worry about the minions. The lead that APBR have built for themselves. But APBR still very wary of everything Blacklist International can bring to the table. And now are also very wary of Sensui's capability to steal the major objective. Close. Will APBR call it?
And Haji just trying to push up whoever he can. Implosion is in good range right now. But the HP bars are just not in a good position.
Dear Lord.
Ohab will start to
Marco!
fall. Edwards on the back. Sensui as well. I think he's starting to back off. This could be bad here for
He
Blacklist.
doesn't make it.
Haji!
And Haji, I don't know how he's still alive after all of this. The Flaptees is the one who's actually falling here.
Clutch shave there by Yue. Able to utilize Molina to make sure that Haji will be able to get away, but Edward won't be able to.
Yeah,
Marco!
Edwards in trouble. Immortality's still there, so that's something. Again, by so much time
With
here.
the drone.
The
Oh,
jungle.
what? Vengeance went online.
regen!
He could take one.
Wing!
Oh boy! And now with the addition of Flapteezy, that might be it.
That took a minute longer than it should have.
That was cooked.
They bought time.
all the time they needed.
Blacklist down 2 men. APBR all 5 on the map. But it's not like they're worse for wear here. It's not like all of that. These 2 kills came for free. There was so much effort that got into killing Oheb and Edward here.
It was a whole minute, I think. More than a whole minute.
But finally, after all the action we've seen, is this the winning moment of APBR, or will Blacklist somehow pull something out of the bag to force the game number 3? APBR, here they are!
Oheb sends second out, and Sweet not the best clear in the world right now.
Flash!
2-man Petrify here, landing up on that dragon.
Haji!
And Newed, their main clear is gonna fall. Oheb, the last minute toward the part memory. Will he have enough damage clear these last 3 tenths here? Oh,
Oh!
they held on as much as they can. But APBR